In last video, we discussed about the second house Bhavat Bhavam in Vedic Astrology. In this video, we are going to talk about the third house Bhavat Bhavam in Vedic Astrology. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani, help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You will be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. This is my account. Follow me on Instagram. And if you are looking for the consultations and all that stuff, check out the link into the description section. So let's get started with the third house Bhavat Bhavam. What is third house? Third house, when we say third house, we mean third house from the ascendant. The Bhavat Bhavam for the third house is the third from the third. But before that, just quickly go through what is third house. Third house is the house of communication. Third house is ruled by Gemini in Kalpurush Kundali. Third house is the house of media, writing, communication, hobbies, your parakram, your courage, your younger siblings, and a short distance travel is what is signified by the third house. And third house Bhavat Bhavam is third from the third, and when we count that house. Like third house from the third house is third house, fourth house, and the fifth house. So fifth house becomes the Bhavat Bhavam for the third house. When we are looking for the third house significations, we have to look for the fifth house for the confirmations. Fifth house is, what is fifth house? Fifth house is about your Purva Punya, and third house is about your efforts, is about your courage, is about your Purushartha, is about your Parakram. Okay? And it totally makes sense, right? It is connected to your Purva Punya. Fifth house is about the cinema and performing arts. The third house, media and communication, is taken to the next level. So it becomes like a cinema, performing arts, and all other creative stuff. YouTube can be. Okay. So fifth house is also about the education. Fifth house is about your, it's not the higher education, which is ninth house. Okay. But this is more of a high school education, the education which a mother gives to his children. Okay, that is why it is next to the fourth house. Okay, the fifth house is also about the heart space, just like the Cancer and the fourth house. The Leo and the fifth house is also about the heart space. And what is heart? Heart is what you love to do. That is what is the hobbies and passions are all about, right? When you do what you love, it's hobby and passion. Okay, so third house, the hobby is taken to the next level now. The fifth house is about the passion. Fifth house is about the education. Fifth house is about the children, the younger siblings. The third house is about the younger siblings. The fifth house is about your own children. Okay, so yes, fifth house is the Bhavat Bhavam for the third house. But we are not going to stop here. We are going to look for the third house implications for all the houses, or maybe some of the houses, to see how it works. Okay, let's take an example of third from the fourth house. Fourth house is the house of your mother. Fourth house is the house of your private environment, your home, because it is the house of, because it is the timing of the day when it is night, and so it's very private. So the fourth house, the third from the fourth house is sixth house. Okay, so fourth house is your mother, and sixth house is the third from the fourth, so it is the younger sibling of your mother. Okay, so if you get a question regarding your maternal uncle or aunts, or if you want to see how your relationship would, or if you want to see your relationship with your uncle and aunt, the maternal uncle and aunt, you can check out the sixth house influences. Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you is the third house, that younger sibling signification of the third house, is also present in the third from the fourth. Okay, just like it was present in the third from the third, the hobby become passion, the media become cinema. The third house sibling signification has become the sibling of the mother. The fourth house signification is mother, and the third house signification of younger sibling is present into the sixth house. Okay, this is phenomenal. And if you want to see the paternal uncle and aunt, you have to go third from the, yes, you're right, third from the 10th house. The 10th house is about your father, and the third from the 10th is the younger sibling of your father. So your uncle and aunts, paternal uncle and aunts, can be seen from the 12th house. So the 6th and 12th house axis, you can look for uncle and aunts. Okay, this is beautiful, right? So likewise, you can apply all the significations of the third house, and you have to see which is applicable to this house. So you will understand this with an experience. When you will see thousands of chart, you will start realizing the connection between the different houses. Like sixth house, we used to think about it as a Dushtana house, but now you know that sixth house is also the house of your uncle and aunts, the maternal uncle and aunts, and the 12th house is paternal uncle and aunts. The houses are only 12, but their placement from all other houses makes them even more interesting. So if you want a real deep dive or a deep insight into the houses, Bhavat Bhavam is the wonderful exercise. At first it might look a bit complex, but it is not. It will open new doors of interpretation and understanding for the house system in Vedic astrology. Because when we see third house, we mean third from the first. But the third house is fifth from the 11th. It has different meanings altogether. So yes, this was part 1 of this video. In next part, we will be talking about the third house in context with all other houses. So let's start that interesting part. Third house is second to the second. We discussed this in earlier video. If you have not seen that video, go watch the second house Bhavat Bhavam video. We have discussed this at length in that video. But third house gives strength to the Dhanabhava. Okay. So third is second from the 12th. Third is 12th to the fourth house. This is very interesting. Fourth house is the house of mother. Third house is the house of siblings. And what happens when you have a younger sibling? Do you have a younger sibling? What happens is the focus of your mother shifts from you to your younger sibling, and it is a kind of loss to you. It is not a literal loss, but a loss of attention of mother. Mother will look for your younger sibling more because he needs it. Okay? Mother is not discriminating, but the younger sibling needs it more. You have also received when you were younger. Third house is 12th to the fourth house. Third house is 11th to the fifth house. Can you believe this? Your Purva Punya, your Purva Karma, the Parakrama is the Labhasthana of your Purva Karma. One more time, your Parakrama is the Labhasthana of your Punya Karma. So you have to act. The radical action is far more important than anything else. We always talk about this, but the action, only action will trigger the manifestation. We'll talk about that in some other videos. But the third house is 11th from the third house. The third house is 10th to the sixth house. What is sixth house? Now you know it, right? Sixth house is not only the sixth house, the traditional sixth house as we know, but it is more to it. The 10th from the sixth house, we can also see the career of your uncle and aunt. The third house is 9th from the 7th house. So your ideologies of your spouse, the bhagya of your spouse can also be seen from the third house because it is 9th to the 7th. What is 7th? 7th house is about the marriage and your partner. And 9th from the 7th is his or her bhagya or his spirituality, his higher wisdom, his or her hope. Third house is 8th from the 8th, this is very significant. 8th house is about the transformations. 8th house is about the ups and downs. 8th house is not only about that death. What is death? Death will make sure there is no tomorrow. That is it. So the third house is 8th from the 8th. So third house is the ultimate death house. So you will see, you can also judge the longevity from the third house. So if you have strong Lord placement and all that stuff, the aspects and conjunctions and all that benefit to the third house, it will boost the longevity. I'm not going to talk about this because it is very sensitive and very specific. So don't jump to the conclusion just because of this. But yes, third house plays a very important role into the longevity, which we are not going to cover in this video. Okay, the third house is 7th from the 9th house. What is the 9th house? 9th house is about your hopes, wishes, your beliefs, your higher beliefs, okay, and your gurus. So the 7th from the 9th, you can say it is all about the public image of your guru or the partner of the guru, like wife or husband of the guru, can also be seen from the third house. Third house is the first upachaya as well as the kamatrikona house, and 10th house is the last house of the karma, and third house is 6th from the 10th, and 6th house is the house of finances, is the artha trikona house. Now you have to put all that into this. You can go to any extent, trust me on this. If you just practice this, we have not put any planets, nakshatra, padas, nothing. We have not talked about that till date. We are just looking what is the set. We are just talking about the houses and house to house connection and how many things we can derive from those houses. So 11th house. Third house is 5th from the 11th. And what is 5th house? 5th house signification is about the Purva Punya. What I'm talking about, we are talking about 11th and 3rd, right? But the house number 3 is 5th from the 11th. And when it is 5th from the 11th, we'll put all the 5th house significations to the 3rd house now. Okay? So yes, so it is not only the house of Parakrama, but also the house of the Purva Punya for the Labha, in context with the Labha. The 3rd house is 4th from the 12th house. Let's summarize. 3rd house, the Bhavat Bhavam for the 3rd house is the 5th house. Why? Because it is 3rd from the 3rd. The Bhavat Bhavam for the 3rd house is the 5th house. 5th house is all about cinema, performing arts, the creativity, the Purva Punya, the education, the children. All these can be seen from the 5th house. And when you have to judge the 3rd house significations, you have to judge and examine the 5th house to confirm the promise. Okay, so yes, 5th house is the Bhavat Bhavam for the 3rd house. So yes, this was 3rd house Bhavat Bhavam as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Share this video with your friends and family who are interested into Vedic astrology, and sending you tons of positive energy and high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.